little video about value. How do you know what something's worth? Like really, I mean, you know what the price is, you know what it's worth for you, whether you'll pay that price or not, basically, is what it's worth to you. But how do you know what it should be, right? So, and the reason I'm making this is like a follow-on video from the X16, the Commander X16 video. Because the price is like, the special edition, $500, then the normal one is like $350. It's a lot higher than, you know, people thought it was going to be. Admittedly, this is because the price was set too low initially. In my opinion, it was never going to be a $50 or $100 machine. It just, the feature set, and it just was never going to be that. But anyway, I thought, right, let's have a look at some similar devices. So this is probably of similar power, processor-wise, graphics-wise, but it's obviously fairly limited in other ways because it's a handheld. But the Evercade handheld, this is like 100 quid, 110, $120 or something like that for this pack with the 3 games in it. So if we start from this as a frame of reference, because this company here have not been around very long, but they've done pretty well in the time they've been around. I've got their other console, the VS, up there. I'm going to get an EXP at some point when they figure out the firmware problem. So like I say, $120 will get you that. Comes with 3 cartridge games which have got like collections on them. It's got like an internal screen and everything, a battery, so you know, it's a different type of machine, but a similar type of machine in some ways. So that's what $100 will get you. Then, if we go up towards nearer to $200, then we're looking at something like this, which is improved again from the Evercade handheld. This is more capable than that thing. You know, it's got a keyboard, USB interfacing, it can print, it can go on the internet browsing, it can play videos. This is more like a computer than that. But is $100 more. So why is it $100 more? Do you think that the materials inside this cost twice as much as the materials inside this? That's what I'm really getting at. So how do we know this is really worth $120 and this is worth $180 or $190 or whatever it is now? How do we know that? And then if we know $100, $200, Commander X16, $350. Now, when we look at it like that, it doesn't seem that unfair, does it? Because the Commander X16 is obviously far more powerful and capable than both of those machines. They could probably play all of those games if they were ported over. I think it definitely could. So yeah, how do we figure this value figure out? Well, let me tell you. We figure it out based on everything else we spent money on. It's a comparative study. It's like when you buy a bag of crisps and it's like 25, 30p for one of those little bag of crisps, and you think, oh, that's not much, and it's like, well, it actually is. If you think about what's in there, you're effectively eating a third of a potato wrapped in plastic. Should that cost any more than 30, 40p? But it's the branding on the product and the way that the product displayed and the utility, the practical thing that the product does for you, the person who consumes it, that gives it that value. So if you're hungry, it's worth £1, £2, however much you actually pay for it, even though they've only paid 30p to create the thing. And if you're really hungry, if you're at like a football game or something and there's no food and there's tons of people, so the food to people ratio is slightly different, you pay more. You get a hot dog and you pay like $8 or something stupid like that for it. So yeah, just think in terms of value, $100 is a lot. If you took $100 to the store and you bought groceries, food, toilet rolls, things that you physically can't live without. Well, some people can live without toilet roll. Anyway, $100 gets you quite far in groceries, right? My shopping, I live in England, so I spend about 40, 50 pounds a week on my shopping, including smoking. I'm a smoker, so that's included in there. So for 2 weeks worth of shopping, I can get this. Is it worth 2 weeks of shopping? Not to most people, no, but to me, being as I'm I guess a privileged white guy living in a wealthy community, you know, I've saved and, you know, I've economized my life to be able to buy this and not have to go without 2 weeks worth of food. But that's what we're talking about, value, not how much is a pound worth in relation to a dollar. That's a different conversation. I'm talking about how much is this worth in relation to this, in relation to a new thing that isn't released yet, in relation to my fridge contents over there. Exactly. So most people have got fridge contents, so you don't have to worry about that. So what I'm saying is this product and these products here, the reason they're priced so high is so that the people that made these can make a profit. You can feel guilty about profit if you like. I don't. I think that if you do something that's really good, that's worth paying someone to do, and they're happy to pay for it, why shouldn't you make a profit out of that? And then you can take that profit, eat, so you're sustained, then you can spend on your business, so it's sustained, and then you can finally divert your product, so it's sustained. So that's where that product's profits from that product are going to go. And that's why it creates value for me. So I personally would be happy to spend $500 on something like this, which was unique to someone I was a fan of and was a Commodore compatible computer. For me, that would be worth the money. Not because I think the contents of the thing should cost 500 quid if we're just counting the materials. No, I'm looking for added value. I'm a collector. When I give over $500, the thing that comes back to me has got to be worth $1,000. So if I'm spending $500 on something which materials wise is $100, I need to be getting more out of it. So that's how I calculate value, and the more that I'm getting out of these two products, this one particularly, and that I'll be getting from the Commander X16, is you pay a little bit more up front for your computer, and then as you use it, each time you buy a game, the game is super cheap and amazing, so you save money each time you buy a game, and every single time you buy something, the quality is good, and the resale value is double at least down the road when you sell it later. So I think this is the problem. People with a short-term vision think value is about what have I got in my hands right now. But people who have a long-term vision, value is about what am I doing with this tomorrow? Where am I going with it next week, next year? And the value is going to be different then. What's it going to be then? That's when you want value, not now. Now value is waste. What are you going to do with it now? Are you going to sell it immediately? No. Are you going to be using it every single day practically? No. Exactly. So value is subjective, and for me, I subjectively value over the long term, and I want it to go up. Whereas a lot of people are like, I want the value now, I don't care if it goes down in future, right? So this and these, Evercade specifically, all these games up here are like 20 quid each. You think they're all going to be worth 20 quid when I sell them? They're going to be worth like hundreds. So yeah, think about that. That's why I think things like this are a good investment. I collect lots of them. You see behind me I've got tons of stuff. And I think the Commander X16 absolutely is literally going to be one of the highest speculating products for me. That's what I'm doing. I'm guessworking. I'm mystic megging the value of things, yes. But that's what I'll collect. That's what we do. What do you think libraries are made of? Libraries were started by people who had collections of their own, and the collections got bigger and bigger and needed more and more money to fund them, and eventually they didn't want to keep paying for it themselves because it was too much, so they set up a company where the profit would be paying for the operation and then paying back to the creator to do the thinking for the future. And that's what I'm doing now with this and trying to communicate to you. So yeah, my advice to you is, even if it's $500, get a special edition Commander X16. They'll be out of stock pretty much straight away, so you'll have to have money saved up to get one. They're going to disappear like that. I'm going to get two, right? So, and it doesn't matter whether they're $500. They could be $600, they could be $700. If you're committed to a long-term vision and you think that's going to speculate and be worth 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times as much, or like I do with these things, I've got two of these. This is the one that I've opened and that I've used with my memory card in. The other one's not opened at all. Now, why would I buy something I intend to never open? Because it's going to sell 10 times as much in the future. So I'm sacrificing my $120 now so that after my death, my nephew, when he's 25, can get £70,000. Alright? So that's value. So I'll leave you there. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!